Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show. Happy Monday. It's time for us to talk relationships right now. Now, especially at the very, very new part of the relationship where you've just met a new partner and you always hope that, you know, your car's in the best kind of condition, your house is looking nice and neat, your pockets are deep enough to splurge out on those wonderful romantic dates. But as we all know, first impressions last, right? That's what they say. But it's at this point of the year, just after the festive season, when your fridge is probably so empty, it's so dull right now. You're living on 2-minute noodles and you're still trying to go on dates.
If you're lucky. Well, the thing is, have you met someone new? And are you wondering how to wine and dine them on a budget? That's the question that we're asking. Perhaps you've been married for a long time and you've got some tips on frugal fun. Today, we've got a relationship expert, Paula Quinsee, in studio, and she's joining us to give us some advice. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to call us on 021 430 9881. Paula, good morning. Welcome to Expresso and Happy New Year.
Thank you, and to you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, so talk to us about that first impression and why it is so important to make a good first impression, especially in the beginning of a relationship.
Well, you know, it's about wanting to be liked. It's about wanting to really impress that person that they want to see you again. That you know, that potentially there's some potential here that the relationship can go to the next level. So obviously you're going to be on your best behavior. You're going to present yourself, you're going to dress up, you're going to show up, you're going to smell good, all of those things because you want to impress.
Now, let me tell you, I'm one of those people that if I was not impressed or if I did not impress on the first date, the chances of me going back for a second one, slim to none. But is it possible to have a second impression if the first date didn't go so well? Is it possible to redeem yourself?
It absolutely is. It depends on what the level of disappointment was.
Yeah.
Now, depends also our expectations. Sometimes we create high expectations in our own minds and we actually set that person up for failure before they've even started.
Yeah, sure.
But also we're human and we make mistakes. So for example, you may have knocked a drink over on your date. It was an accident, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
Apologize, but make sure that the apology is sincere and it's authentic, and ask for forgiveness, and you know, let me make it up to you. Let's go and try again.
On a second date. There we go. Actually do it on purpose and get yourself a second date. But why do people set these expectations, especially for something that, you know, could be riddled with nerves and there's every chance of a mistake happening, like what you've just mentioned right now? Why do we set ourselves up for failure?
I think it depends on where we're at in our life and our life stage. You know, particularly if you've been single for a very long time, there may be a hint of desperation there.
Oh.
So we go out there with this intention an expectation in our own mind that this is going to be the one, and it's going to turn into this romantic relationship and a happily ever after potentially. When let's just take a step back and start at first base, and let's just get to know each other first. Let's get to know more about each other, and if we have even got a lot in common that we can start building on. So sometimes people want, and especially, you know, living in a world of instant gratification, we want things and we want them now. So let's go on a date, and then before you know it, we're in a relationship and we haven't even been seeing each other for a week yet.
Exactly. Well, there's so many pressures, I think, for one to take into consideration, especially now. January is probably the worst time to fall in love with someone and go on a date. But if you find yourself having fallen in love with someone and you're wondering how to wine and dine them on a budget, this is where you need to give us a call. It's 021 430 988. I was right for that one in the first place. And of course, Paula's got all of the details, and we're running a poll as well on Facebook. So get onto Facebook and of course answer those questions. We'll be right back.
It's my feel good.
And you know what? Part of that strength comes in being confident enough to say, babes, today I'm taking you out to the corner shop and we are going to buy an operation with orange juice. That is how I'm treating you for our anniversary. But hey, there's great pause. Anyway, Paula Quinsee is here. She's our relationship expert in the hot seat, talking about dating on a budget. How do you do that without breaking the bank? So let's quickly talk about the different kinds of environments in which this can happen, because we ran a poll on
we should
Twitter.
Get that poll here.
We'll show the graphic right now, but a lot of people are saying that a great way of just having a romantic date is by having a home-cooked meal. But I think people can apply a lot more imagination when it comes to treating your partner and making them feel special, other than going to the most expensive restaurant in town.
I think think it depends also how far down the road you are in the relationship. If it's a new relationship, so particularly a first date, cooking a meal at home might be a little bit intimidating, and there might be a little nuance attached there in terms of expectations.
A little creepy too,
Yeah. So, but if you're well into your relationship, you're both relaxed, it's your own environment, you're comfortable around each other, and you could spice it up a bit by making it a surprise where you cook the starters and you cook the main course, and you surprise each other with what you're going to cook, and you pair it with a nice bottle of wine or something, and light some candles and some music.
Yeah. What kind of impression, however, does it leave for a potential partner when they see you choosing these frugal or making these frugal suggestions for a dinner date? Like, it's like, hey, listen, I really want to, let's stay in, let's have a dinner, What does it say about you?
I think it's how it comes across and how you deliver the approach to it. For example, a happy hour, 2 for the price of 1. You could, for example, say, I heard this place has great cocktails and they've got happy hour on Friday afternoon. Should we go and give it a bash?
Yeah.
And it almost treat it like an adventure. That's something that you're trying together and see if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We've actually got the poll right there. We asked that when the budget is tight, but you and Bay want to do something special, what do you do for an affordable date night? Do you have a beach picnic, take a stroll in the park, 2 for 1 special, like you just said, and homemade dinner? Most people are saying homemade dinner is the way to go. Because cooking together, I think, is great for bonding. And we would like to get your opinion as well. Give us a call on 021 430 9881. Seems like the cameraman is falling asleep, but that's okay. What should you then think? Should there be alarm bells going off if you do, let's say, in the beginning of the relationship, suggest, hey, let's go to this 2 for 1 special, and the person's response isn't favorable, shall we say? They're like, 2 for 1 special. Do I look like a 2 for 1? Me.
I think therein there's a problem. Don't position it as a 2 for 1 special.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe that...
Wait, are you saying try and disguise it as something else? Like, oh, the ribs at this place are really amazing. When you know very well there's a better place with ribs, you go in there because it's 2 for 1. I have a problem with that. I've got a problem with that.
So I think it's really about, there's different activities out there that are, I don't want to say cheap, but that are affordable.
You know, cheap is not a swear word, Paula. You can say it. Cheap. It's okay. Affordable. It's more friendly to the rand.
There we go.
Leanne is not a fan of cheap, but carry on, please.
So things, for example, museums that have reduced prices at certain times of the day.
Free entry.
Free entry, absolutely. Hop on, hop off city bus tour, and then pack a picnic and go afterwards and have a picnic on the beach. So I think really it's how you put it out there, how you position it, how you approach it. If you're going to put it out there in a cheap way, it's going to come across as cheap.
Yeah, I think cheap is fine as long as you add some creativity to it and you make it an experience. Then it's completely. If you and I are sharing a happy meal, that's a problem.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
I actually want to ask this question. Maybe you can give us a call and tell us 021 430 9881. Would you have a problem if your partner said to you, I'm taking you on this date because I'm a little broke right now and this is a little bit cheaper than what we usually do?
Too much information.
Too much information.
TMI.
I was just being honest, girl.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. We've got our relationship expert, Paula Quinsee, in studio, and we're talking about how to wine and dine a potential partner on a budget. If you have a question or comment, please give us a call, 021 430 9881. Boom. I got it right eventually.
That's the number. We got into a conversation during the break about what you should do if you can't afford, let's say, paying for the beautiful dinner that you just had. Should you split the bill? Should the guy just offer to pay for it? Should the lady or whoever it is, partner in a relationship, say, you know what, babe, I know that you're broke right now, things aren't going well, so let me handle the bill.
On the first date?
On the...
On the first date, it's a man, because from a male ego point of view, could see that as a bit of a to the heart.
Yeah.
But I think it's a conversation that you need to have up front, particularly if you are in a relationship and you've been together for a while and there's a level of trust around finances. And that's one of the topics that a lot of couples fight about is money.
Yeah.
So as soon as you can have the conversation around affordability and lifestyle, you can also get clues in terms of the type of spending habits a partner has. observing their behavior, do they have expensive taste? Are they always out shopping, or are they saving and spending wisely? You can get a sense of what their money management skills are like.
I always feel it's the onus of the person who asked you on the date. If you asked me, I am going to expect you to pay. If I ask you, trust me, I'm ready to pay.
Yes.
But I'm not going to ask you and we get there and I'm like, so you going to pay for my dinner? No.
Yeah.
But are you saying then if I ask you, then it doesn't matter where I take you? Because let's say you were with...
No, it matters, child.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Let's say you were with Abangani Bako on the weekend, right? And so you met this person. They blew your mind, right? But then you met them at the place that you usually wouldn't go out at. It might be above your pay grade, right? And now you ask them to go on a date. Now, you can only take them to the corner shop for ikota and orange juice. But when you're used to champagne, you know what I'm saying?
Darling.
What do we do then? Do I not ask you on a date?
You buy the bottle of champagne, you go to the beach, and you share it.
What if the only sparkling drink I can afford is the water and not the champagne?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to get you on a date because you liked how I spoke to you when we met. We hit it off. You were laughing. It was nice. There was no champagne at all.
And I think that's where it comes down to the human element of relationships. It's what's inside that counts.
There
As
we go,
cliched and
Paula.
cheesy as it sounds, it's what's inside that counts.
There we go. It's inside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So does it matter now?
Hey?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, you give us a call, 021-4309-881. You know why I ask, right? Because we've had a couple of people on social media that have asked us, but what if you're really targeting like that person? You really want to go out with them, but hey, you're not as paid as they want you to be. Does that mean you should then back out of the game because you're not on that money?
Yeah, I think you just need to be really just creative. You need to be creative.
It's about the intention, the effort, the energy, the time, the effort that you take and put behind the date or romancing your partner.
Yeah.
And often it's the little things that count, that
There
make
we
the
go.
biggest impact.
Hey, you've never been on a date at the corner of the street when...
And when we come back, I want to know, is it so wrong to be wanting to be swept off your feet? Like we're all talking about, the corner shop and ukota and that kind of stuff. I'm
Define
gonna
swept
say, I
off
don't
your
want
feet, because if I
that.
pull the rug right now, you'll be swept. Do you know what I mean?
It's my feel good.
Our relationship expert, Paula Quinsee, joins us to talk about relationship today and especially focusing dating on a budget. How can you make moments special while being frugal? We've got Deborah on the line, I think from Bloemfontein. Good morning, Deborah.
Hey, hi, Mr. Keisha. Thanks for an awesome show. Really enjoying you guys.
Thanks so much. Like, the temporary name change is quite nice too, but that's cool. What's your question or comment, Deborah?
Just one for the guys out there.
Yes.
I've got two sons, and what I would say to them is get to know the girl. You know, don't go out there and spend a fortune on somebody that you don't know.
Yes,
is she
Deborah.
going after your money and your status, or is she really trying to get to know you?
Yes.
So I would rather say, you know, just go out, have really cheap, go for runs, go for walks, whatever it is, get to know the girl, and then start bringing out the bucks and making her feel special. And then the other thing, my hubby and I, what we used to do is we used to get together and then just make dinner together.
Wow.
I mean, it's cheap, mince and spaghettis or whatever, but just the
Deborah,
time
man.
spending together and talking to each other, getting to know each other. And that's what it's about, because at the end of the day, it's not how rich somebody is, or how sexy they are, how beautiful they are. You've got to get to know the person. They've got to be your friend.
Yes,
100%.
Deb, can I ask you, I don't know, before we let you go, do you remember your first date with your husband?
My first date.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. You know what? We were friends for such a long time. I've been in
love
so
that.
many bad relationships that I just decided the next relationship I'm going to go into, I want him to be a friend. So I think I actually called him and said, let's get to the movies. I'll meet you there in my car, you come in your car, and then so it went along. I mean, I didn't even hold my hand for the first month. We've been married for 23 years, and it really doesn't even feel like that. It's
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Love that. Do you know what? Speaking about that, I see this trend of people first wanting to get to know each other in informal kind of, environments. Like one day I was asked, do you want to go for a walk on the promenade and we'll get a smoothie afterwards? That was so nice, and just like the pressure was off. You didn't have to dress up. You could be yourself. Of course, I didn't get a chance to go because I don't know what happened. That one also just disappeared. But anyways, it would have been nice had it happened.
And I think that's where it comes down to the essence of being real, keeping it real.
Mm.
And you don't have to go to a fancy restaurant to get to know someone and to also show your true self and be authentic. Because putting on a facade is unsustainable. Trying to be someone that you're not is unsustainable. And eventually, the true colors are going to come through. And if you try and come across as someone that you're not, you're going to end up potentially ruining prospective relationship. Because now that person may not trust you.
Exactly, because that was going to be my next question. Should one bend over backwards to try and impress somebody just to catch their attention? And like you said, don't do that because it is unsustainable.
No, because, you know, you can't expect your partner to do something that you yourself are not prepared to do. So if you want your partner to expect you, to accept you as this picture perfect person, but they are trying to just be real themselves, then, you know, you're placing unnecessary expectations on each other. Just be real, be yourself. Get the person to know your true self. Be authentic, be sincere, be genuine. And that's where that forms a good foundation for a relationship to start building on.
I think the standard right now should just be that when you meet the person for the first time and you decide they're a potential mate, suggest that you go for a walk somewhere and get an ice cream, because I mean in that kind of environment where nobody's necessarily in close proximity listening to you, there's a chance to talk, there's a chance to make a joke or two, get to know each other instead of being at a restaurant and now you got the fork on the right hand side and the knife on the left and you don't know what you're doing. It's so awkward, do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's the poll once again, most people saying homemade dinners are great. Don't know about first dates though, but taking a stroll in the park, 13%. Beach picnic, great suggestion as well. 2 for 1 special.
Hey, it's coming in at 7%.
7%.
Not even if it was ribs.
Paula, thanks so much. We really appreciate your time and your expertise, and we hope that it enlightened you at home so that you might find better ways of being frugal while having fun.